So good morning everybody, this is NCRT line to line discussion. So let's start with the questions. This is chapter number 14, which is semiconductor electronics. So the first question is basic building blocks of all the electronic circuits are. So these are devices in which a controlled flow of electrons can be obtained. Second question is transistor was discovered, so it was discovered in 1948. Third will be correct. Then before discovery of transistors, devices used for controlling flow of electrons were logic gates भी थे वहाँ पे, vacuum tubes and IC. So before the discovery of transistor, तो transistor के discovery से पहले we just used vacuum tubes. So second will be correct over here. Next is vacuum diode has 2 electrodes. Next is in vacuum diode, plate is, so the plate is anode itself. So first will be correct. Then vacuum tubes are also called, these are also called as valves. First is correct. Next is in a vacuum tube, electrons are supplied by heated cathode or heated anode. So cathode was the transmitter of electrons or the emitter. So these were supplied by the heated cathode. So first one will be correct. Next is in a vacuum tube, controlled flow of electrons is obtained by varying voltage between different electrodes or varying current between different electrodes. So it was varying voltage between different electrodes. First one will be correct over here. Next is why vacuum is needed in inter-electrode space. So vacuum is needed so that to prevent electrons from losing energy. So first one will be correct. Next is in a vacuum tube, electrons can flow from, so obviously these can flow from cathode to the anode. Next is in a vacuum tube, why electrons flow only from cathode to anode? Obviously anode here is not heated, only cathode is heated. So cathode emits electrons. So if electrons are gonna move, they are gonna move from cathode to anode. So first is correct over here. Next is why vacuum tubes are also called as valves. Obviously because electrons flow only in one direction. Then we have choose the correct statement regarding vacuum tubes. They are bulky, consume high power. This is correct. Operate at high voltage, also correct. Have limited life, also correct. So all are correct. So fourth will be correct over here. Next is the seed of the development of modern solid state semiconductors. Electronics goes back to. So it goes back to the date 1930. Next is some solid state semiconductor and their junction offer the possibility of it is the controlling the number of charge carriers, and obviously direction can also be controlled. So both of these are correct. So third will be correct over here. Next is number of mobile charges in a semiconductor can be changed by. So mobile charge carriers in semiconductors may be electrons and holes, and they can be changed by light, heat or small voltage. So all are correct. So fourth will be correct over here. Next is flow of charge carrier in semiconductor devices are. Obviously it is within the solid itself. So first is correct. Next is in semiconductor devices, no external heating is required. So this is also correct. This is also correct. And also they have high long life and high reliability. So fourth is correct over here. Next is cathode ray tubes works on the principle of vacuum diodes semiconductor. So cathode ray tubes are based on vacuum tubes. First is correct. Next is liquid crystal display works on the principle of, so liquid LCD works on the principle of solid state semiconductors. Next is galena is, so galena is lead sulfide. First is correct over here. Next is chemical formula of galena, so it's PbS. Next is naturally occurring crystal of galena with a metal contact was used as a detector of. So it was used as a detector of radio waves. So first is correct over here. Next is junction diode is a two electrode device. So junction diode, it's a two electrode device. First is correct. Next is bipolar junction transistor is a two electrode device or a three electrode device. So bipolar junction transistor is a three electrode device. Three you can say switches are there or connections are there by which it can be connected to the external resistance. One is emitter, one is collector, and third is base. Next is resistivity of metals. So metals have very low resistivity. First is correct. Next, resistivity of conductors is, so resistivity of conductors, semiconductors. So semiconductors resistivity lies between this. First is correct over here. Next is resistivity of insulators. So insulators have very high resistivity, and it's given by the first expression. First is correct. Next is the criteria for distinguishing metals, insulators, and semiconductors are. So it is either on the basis of resistivity or either on the basis of band gap. So both are correct over here. Next is elemental semiconductors are. So silicon and germanium, which are 14th group element, are natural semiconductors, elemental semiconductors. So third is correct. Next is compound semiconductors are. So they may be inorganic, they may be organic or organic polymers. So all are correct over here. So 4 is correct. Next is examples of inorganic semiconductors are. So obviously cadmium sulfide, gallium arsenide, and cadmium selenium. All these are examples of inorganic semiconductors. So all are correct over here. Next is example of organic semiconductors are. So these are anthracene and doped phthalocyanine. So both are correct. So third will be correct over here. Next is examples of organic polymers are. So this is polypyrrole, polyaniline, or polythiophene. So I think you should change the option 4 to all of these. Next is most of the currently available semiconductor devices are based on elemental or compound. So most of the devices are based on elemental and the compound inorganic semiconductors. So both will be correct. So third will be correct over here. Next is after 1990, a few semiconductor devices have been developed using organic semiconductors or semiconducting polymers. These are based on organic semiconductors and semiconducting polymers. So both are correct over here. Next is the futuristic technology of semiconductors is polymer electronics or molecular electronics. So it's a mixture of polymer electronics and molecular electronics. So both are correct over here. Next is silicon and germanium are. So these are obviously the elemental semiconductors. Next is general concept for elemental semiconductors applies to most of the, it applies to most of the compound semiconductors as well. So second will be correct over here.